Hi, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. I just want to mention before we get started that you can follow me on Instagram at the Sewing Room channel and also check out my Facebook page because you will see behind the scene photos of projects I'm working on. You'll get a heads up of what fabrics to buy, where to buy them, all kinds of good stuff on there. So make sure you do that. Now in this video tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to do this Christmas decorative towel. I will go over how to do a really simple machine applique pattern to make a Christmas tree. And it's a beginner's project, so don't get scared on this one. I'll also give you ideas for optional trim at the bottom. So let's get started. For the tree pattern, you'll need about a 6-inch square of fabric. I'm going to use little pom-pom fringe on it because it reminds me of snowballs, but you can use rickrack, ribbon, really almost any fringe that's washable to put on your towel. You're also going to need some fusible web. This is the Pellon Easy Steam 2 two-sided, pressure-sensitive, double-sided fusible web. You can get it at Joann's Fabrics and Crafts, Amazon, and other craft stores. Also, you're going to need to use a polyester thread, any color of your choice, and also an open-toe presser foot. One of the reasons why I like the open-toe presser foot is, here's the needle. You can see exactly where you are stitching. Because when you're doing applique stitches, it's often very hard with a regular presser foot to see where you are. They're not very expensive, they're very affordable. You can go on Amazon and probably find one for your machine, or go to a sewing machine store and they might be able to order one for you. On your fusible web, there's 1-inch grid lines. So this whole area here is 1 inch. So you're going to stay within a 4-inch grid line, 4 by 4, 4 this way, 4 that way. Go to the very center line and draw a line from here down to the bottom corner. And the same thing here, from here to the bottom corner. Then put a mark in the middle here and here. Then go down and put a mark in the middle of this one and this one. Then connect the dots, okay? And go over here and do this. Now you're going to go from this corner to this corner and this corner to this corner. So go ahead, put your ruler there, draw a line, put your ruler here, and whoops, a little off. That's why I like to do it in pencil, so if I make a mistake. So then you're going to just draw some lines from here over to this dot, okay, and this way and this way, and then go all the way across the bottom there. All right, so now you can see your tree shape. Then you're going to go over 1/4 of an inch on each side of this line right here, this middle line. You're going to go over 1/4 of an inch. I'm just sort of guessing, and put a mark, and then over here and put a mark, and there's your tree design. When you cut it out of your sheet, make sure you don't cut on your drawn lines just yet. Just leave a little bit of the fusible web around it. Take your fabric, and if you have an obvious front and back side to it, make sure your back side is up, okay, your back side. Before you can put it on the fabric, you need to remove the paper on the back. So I would just tear the fabric a little bit if you're having a hard time lifting it off. Bend it so that a little corner pops up, and then pull that piece off. And if it tears, you just kind of bend it again and it'll pop up. Okay, so now place it again on the back side of your fabric and then finger press it down. Then with your scissors, now you can cut on your drawn lines. Take your towel and find the center of it. And you want to decide, before you put it on, decide where you want to place it, okay? So somewhere near the bottom. So now you would take a straight pin again and tear it, because you need to get the blue grid line paper off now, and pull it off. There we go. And just lay it down first. Make sure you like where it is. If you like where it is, I got a piece of thread there I need to hide. There we go. Then once it's centered properly, then finger press it down real good. After you have finger press it, now go to your ironing board and let's fuse it on. On the package of fusible web, the instructions are printed on the back, and it's fairly easy to follow. But what you need is make sure you do it at your ironing board or use a pressing mat if you have one. Take a damp towel. Now if it's not damp and you've got a spray bottle nearby, this is what I usually do. Dampen it really good. Then take your iron, give it a burst of steam, and hold it for 12 to 15 seconds. Then when you're done, just let it cool down for several minutes. Place your stabilizer behind the back. And I like to place a couple of pins to hold it in place while I'm sewing. And make sure that if you've got this open toe presser foot that you put it on. When you're doing it, I like to keep the center of the presser foot right there near the edge so that as I'm stitching, I just catch the towel fabric and most of the stitching goes right over the tree itself. And when you come down to corners, always stop on the outside of the corner with your needle down. When you're doing applique work, it's important whenever you're doing any kind of turn that you leave the needle down, lift up the presser foot, turn your fabric, lower the presser foot, and continue stitching. Now I had a request from a viewer that she would like me to see how I stitch mine on because she was concerned about corners. So I'm going to try to get my camera to get those angles. So we'll see how it comes out. So let's go to your sewing machines. On my machine, I have 3 different sizes of satin stitch. I'm going to use the small, so I've already got that one selected. But I need to tighten it up. You see how you can see through it? So if you have a zigzag stitch, you don't already have a preset satin, take your zigzag stitch and tighten it up. So I'm going to tighten up the length of it. There we go, to where it is solid. I'm going to lower my needle down right exactly where I want to start, okay? And then, now if you're not used to doing this, practice on a piece of scrap fabric first, all right? So just go slow at first. And I just want it to catch just right there at the edge. I want the edge of the tree covered with the applique stitch. I'm going to speed up a little bit so I can get down here to this corner. And I'm going to stop to my right side. Whoops, let me go one more. And there we go. Now I'm going to turn it. And now I want to go straight across this way. So I'm going to do a few to get around that corner. I'm going to turn it again, and I always stop with my needle on the outside of the tree edge, and the presser foot needs to come up. Now on this machine, whenever I stop, my presser foot automatically comes up. If you don't have that feature, stop with the needle down and then lift up your presser foot and turn. All right, so I'm going to continue going. Now I'm coming to an inside corner. So this time I'm going to stop on my left. Turn it, right, and continue going down the other side. So I hope that helps you with going around your corners. When you're done, just tear the stabilizer and or your paper off. It should come out pretty easily. There you go. And there you go. Now the really fun part for me comes, and that's playing with all my different trims. I really like the snowballs, well, the pom-pom fringe. If you want to use pom-pom fringe, there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can either place it on top and make sure it's not twisted, because this stuff gets a little twisty, and wrap the end of it around to the back, because you don't want that part to show, and stitch right down the center of that band. Okay. Or I was playing around with some of my other trims, and I had a piece just long enough, and I just loved how this looks. So play around with different ribbon trims. Now this wide ribbon trim I got right here, this big thick rickrack, I got this at Walmart, where they have all the little ribbons and other little lace things. I got it there, and again, wrap it around the end so that the raw edges don't show, and you can just stitch right down through the center of it. And you can either have it coming up like this to where the edge of the towel shows through it, or if you want, you can have the edge of the towel hidden underneath and stitch it on. If you're going to use any of your trim, make sure you do put a few pins to hold it on, because trim is usually a little hard to work with and it kind of slips and slides all over the place. And when I was stitching this on, I decided to stitch along the upper edge of the rickrack, and I really liked how it turned out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and also I have many decorative towel projects, so make sure you check below your YouTube screen for the links that will take you to all these fun and easy projects. Thanks for watching, and happy sewing! I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would you please click on the thumbs up button, and don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. If you haven't subscribed yet, click on that red subscribe button down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And don't forget to click on the bell and enter your email address so you'll receive email notifications about my latest video. I'm Cheryl, and this is Manny. See you next time, and happy sewing!